because we don't have a title for it.
Let's cross borders now to the neighboring Uganda, and the Supreme Court of Uganda has put to rest the debate on whether civilians can be tried in military courts. In an almost unanimous decision, the 7 judges of the Supreme Court, with a little variance, ruled that military courts are not vested with the competency to try civilians. Uganda's Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny Dolo held that court-martial committee members do not have any requirement of having legal training and equated it to sending a person to the theatre to operate a patient when that person doesn't have the requisite qualification to do an operation.
The Supreme Court has ruled that civilians cannot be tried in military courts, putting an end of the debate on the painful and tormenting trial of civilians in the court-martial. In a nearly unanimous decision, Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny Dolo emphasized that military courts or court-martials and martial courts are not equipped to handle civilian cases. The justices ordered that all matters proceeding before the court-martial cease proceedings and all files be sent to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution.
Or ongoing criminal trials or pending trials before the courts-martial involving civilians must immediately cease and be transferred to the ordinary courts of law with competent jurisdiction. 3, all pending trials or partly held criminal cases that fall under the civil law court's jurisdiction, which are against members of the UPDF who are subject to service law, must be transferred to the civil courts with competent jurisdiction.
The court ruling criticized a lack of legal training among court-martial members, equating it to entrusting someone without qualification to perform a surgery. He also pointed out that court-martial decisions cannot be appealed and that even junior officers can sit on the panel, which raises concerns of unfairness and incompetence.
These untrained persons can issue decisions on questions of law and facts. You take me to the theater in Monago. I will not know the difference between a kidney and the liver. Yes, that's the truth of the matter. And I'm fairly educated, as you know. The courts martial function in sharp converse thereto, and this is inimical to the right to a fair hearing before an independent and impartial court. Hence, it adversely discriminates against persons who appear before the courts-martial. The consequence of this is that it renders the functioning of the court-martials unconstitutional.
He blamed Parliament for vociferously creating conflicting laws. Consequently, he declared sections of the UPDF Act that give military courts powers to try civilians as unconstitutional and therefore null and void. The Chief Justice earlier explained to court that the delivery of the ruling faced impediments, including death of a number of justices of the Supreme Court. Dolo asked lawyers who had assigned cells a duty of throwing Scotch words to him to rescind. The lawyers at the bar did the honours. Kausguruka and his lawyers celebrated the ruling, calling it a landmark for Ugandans to be free.
It is a win for the people of Uganda. It is a win for the democracy-seeking forces in this country, because the GCM has hitherto been used as a tool to fight anyone that is opposed to the bad leadership.
That have been grieving, those that have been crying, those that have expressed themselves. Now that this is over, we can walk back and exercise our democratic rights. I can tell you that this struggle continues on all the fronts.
And in sports, Kenyan wins in Al Haiman Marathon in United